So, what does spirituality mean to me? Spirituality mean to me is connection with myself, the spiritual essence of my mind to spiritually materialize in physical form, to be connected with each and everybody in a unseen force, because we all have that. They call it telepathy, right? And you know how, like, I forgot to add this. What if one day you knew that you were gonna do something important, and that no matter what you do, it's always gonna lead you to this road, but it's always your choice. I don't know, I kind of messed it up. It was in John Connor and Terminator 3. He said, what if you knew that you were gonna do something so important that it's gonna something, I can't remember, but I think that oftentimes when people get too far off, they talk about the 5Ds and the different dimensions. What happened is, or they're quote unquote psychics, that they often not grounded in the physical reality, because they are living. It's just like imagination. If you don't use that imagination and make it into grounded and use it into physical and birth it into physical form, it just stay there in your head, just like spirituality. Most people who are into spiritual stuff, they stay stuck there, and they lose that spiritual essence within themselves. Spiritual does not mean that you don't live in the physical world. Spiritual mean that you take the spiritual knowledge within you, you embody it, and you make that to concrete physical form. And spirituality to me meaning is to live your life on your term, but spiritual life meaning to give birth to something that is your higher purpose, your higher calling. What is the true meaning, the true path for the unique person that was given the task for, that we all have, and that is them to unlock that abilities, or to unlock the code, the message of the universe. That is up to them. But oftentimes I see like spiritual people get way too high, and they never take grounded to study other self-help stuff or entrepreneurship or marketing, because it will help them to spread their message out there. So what happened is they know about that, but they're not grounded. That's why I read spiritual books, self-help stuff, and entrepreneur stuff and marketing, because it keep me grounded, right? When I watch the like movies, it's take my imagination, but I still need to be grounded, because we live in this physical aspect, and that's what human beings are here to experience, a higher calling to experience a lot of things that we need to learn. So dark night of the soul is a term phrase. It comes from the Spanish mystic, and the dark night of the soul is a period of time of transformation. When you're going through it, you don't know that you're going through it, because it's a term that people point, that you felt lost at time, you felt that you couldn't get out of it. It's so dark and those personal crises, those crises that you have in those moments, it brings you closer to you. It brings closer to who you are, and closer to the connection with God, and make it much more stronger, because when the things going good, you don't are not connected with yourself. You lose the ability to listen to the innate ability, the intuition, or God. We lose that when times are going good. But when things aren't going well, that's a good thing. Most people think it's not. It's a good thing. That when things are not going well, you have to adjust and see what's you have to move. That means that it's a signal, or it's something within the universe that's directing you to find this truth that we didn't understand. So a dark night is a spiritual. Every human life is made of light and dark. Every dark night is unique. The spiritual life is both transcendent and deep. Serve the spirit by forcing us to rely on something beyond human capability. Rid the wave of your dark night. Riding the wave of your dark night, you're more yourself, moving toward who you are meant to be. It doesn't give any assurance that what is happening makes serve and will ultimately be beneficial. So what it's saying is that you might not know that this is what you're going through. Well, when you come out of the end, you don't know it's going to serve you any higher purpose or anything, but it does serve you. It makes you more aware the surrounding that you have, the people that you meet, the people that you interact with, that we all have like a secret destiny that people don't often realize. So let's talk about it. What I went through was terrible. I never felt that before. Like, it was like the love of my life was ripped away from me, and I don't know what, I felt lost. I was lost, and I didn't know who I was. Or usually when people say, when you guys were together, you had an identity, right? You were together, you had an identity, and but when you're apart, you lose that identity, and you don't know for me, I don't know what's the meaning of life anymore. And so that's what I had to went through, and it was so dark. But I never told this in the interview or in my video. The day that when I broke up with my ex, before that, there was a dream that I had. I think that there's a connection between a dream and the physical world. There's something there. I don't know what it is, but there is there. And I remember that she start walking on the bus, and the bus closes, right? The door closes, and then there were flame everywhere. And after that, that's the day that we broke up. And she was my life. She means a lot to me. She means a lot more than anything in the world. She was my first kiss, my first holding hand. She was my first everything. That was the first experience that I knew of love, joy, that I could give to someone else, to care for. And that's the moment that I loved. But I never shared that. But anyway, and so something happened, and then people said the end of the world, 2012. People, they always say that. And then 2013, I start finding, I need the therapist, and she helped me, and she teach me the self-fulfilling prophecy, and I start using that. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Why all this cool thing happened? And coincidence start happening, but I don't believe in coincidence. You call it to being, because your thoughts can turn that into reality. And so I found out that there is a secret that most, like, people don't tell you the meaning of life. People are indoctrinated through the school system, and then people, the way I see it, life is this, right? If your whole life, you thought you knew about life. You thought you knew what you knew, because what you experience is through your physical, your childhood, your physical life. All you know is the physical world. And the people that tell you in your life, they said this is what is meaningful, to create a meaningful life. This is what meaningful, to go to school, to get good grades, to make something of yourself. But there's something that they never tell you, that they're just never teaching the real truth that nobody teaches. And I don't know why they don't teach it, but it is important that people often look outside of them, right? And they felt like this is not the direction that they should go. And oftentimes, that's where I start finding about the law of attraction. I did like research like 3 months into it, and I was playing around with it, and I start going deeper into a lot of things that most people don't go to, like alchemy. Like I didn't know about that. Quantum physics. I start reading a whole bunch of books really fast, and I start watching every video about it. Law of attraction, vibrations, law of the universe, 7 hermetic principles, and I start reading all this, and I start playing with it slowly, surely. And then I think that's the signal for, and it starts shattering my belief about the world around me, what my friends believe, what my family believe, what to be true. And I thought I was going crazy. But the dark night of the soul is when your the things that you know start to die, and the things that you begin to become aware. You're aware that we, as human beings, have this innate ability to send a signal to the universe through your thoughts. Vision is powerful. When you have a vision for what you want, and you're guided, and you're always guided. I'm telling you, you're always guided by a force, that unseen force. And I don't know where it is spiritual, but it seemed to care about your interest for some reason. I don't know what it is, but it cared for your interest. It's also care for that you care for it too, for some reason. That it cared that you spread your message for the greater good for some reason. That the human soul, the human being, wants to be like the essence of God or consciousness, wanted to be playful, to reveal itself within the searching, the seeking, the understanding of itself through the books, because the truth are in the people that been searching for alchemy, witchcraft, voodoo, subconscious mind, every religion that we see, the Gospel of Thomas, Jesus, the Bible, and that these messages are hidden. And clearly, for the first time, I understood what it's trying to say. Now, the spiritual, and also a lot of people who have watched over the years, like Lennon Honored and Ralph Smart, I was awoken to that there is something there that we've been lied to our whole life. That the secret to life, if we know how to use the spiritual aspect, the mind, like Lennon said, that the mind is close the mind is the closest thing to spirituality, and that somehow that you can take that thought, a theory, and then thought, and then turn it into a theory, and then turn it into an actual fact. That we have the ability to do that, and so you start to wonder what is real and what is truth, and what is people lying to you. What are they been telling you that they don't? It's not that people been lying to you. It's that people were never aware about the spiritual aspect. Now people are becoming more aware of it because of the internet, because of the secret, because of information out there. And this information could change a person's life. It could change your thinking, your mode of thought, how you, when you are on, so it's a journey, right? Your spiritual path or mystical path is a journey to discovering God. I call it discovering God for a reason, because people, when they talk about Bible or any physical religion, it's outside of them, right? But God, it's as Bob Proctor said, we're always trying to reach this cosmic consciousness, or you will one day be with God, and the God is within you. It's always there for you. It's always guiding you. Bob Proctor say in his video that he is guided. Like, I think that we're all guided to do a mission in life. But we have to take that step. Like, there's no such thing that not doing it. That's where the fear comes in. You have, regardless of what you are feared, you have to do it. I don't care what it is. The pain that we have could help so many others, right? And so that's what I was thinking a lot. And that it takes a lot of growing, it takes a lot of understanding, but I still have to be grounded, right? I read a lot of books. Most people, I read a lot of books like psychology, marketing, brain, whatever, because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me to help. In order to me to evolve, I have to help myself and other people. Meaning, when you help yourself, you will one day help people. I was frustrated a long time ago when I was going on this seeking path. I call it truth seeker, and I was seeking the truth, and I was frustrated. I couldn't get it. I was like, man, I'm reading about this book, but I don't get it. Like, I've been searching, and I was frustrated. Now I understand. As we transcend the mind, because the mind and the spiritual growth, there's no limit to how much we can understand. There's no limit to how we can physically understand life, because life is always, when you're, for some reason, when you are going to do something that benefit not only you, that you bring value to you. When you invest in you benefit others. And that's it's like a signal to the universe that you're here to give to others and grow, and we all benefit from each other, and we can transcend, and we can live a better life. Spirituality is very weird. This word is very weird. It's, to tell you the truth, my wildest dream could happen because of this information. Think about this. If I didn't have this information, nothing would happen. It's wild. It's very wild. It's very weird. It's wild and weird. But if people understand that they have the power within themselves to create this dream of theirs, to go on this journey, and one day they wake up and it's like, holy shit, like, is this even possible? And that's what I often miss, that the path that you are on will always, you will have more understanding that like no other. When you study, when you go deep into the spiritual realm, but you have to stay grounded, one day you will realize, because think about it, when you're going through all the dark stuff, the pain, you didn't know, it didn't make sense why you went through it, why did you get hurt, you didn't know. And one day you will understand that why you went through it, so you can help other people, why you can so you can move forward and level up a higher level of consciousness. But then you still have to stay grounded, for God's sake. Like, it's cool and all to know the spiritual laws of the universe and law of attraction, but nothing beat action and turning that physical, unseen force into tangible force, that you can do something with that. It's fun to think about. It's fun to think about all these great ideas, but nothing changes on your life until you change something in the action. Okay, that's it for the Dark Night of the Soul. That's my thought today. Bye bye.